All right, welcome back to the 2018 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. This is round 2 coverage, and we're heading into the woods, the middle 9 holes of the 27-hole layout. Right now we've got Zach Melton at 9 under, Max Nichols at 8 under, and Marty in the lead at 10 under.
Marty picking up 3 strokes on Zach in the last 2 holes, so making his move.
No, this hole's just downright tough. Dog legs left, but you've got this ravine, a cliff off to the right. Very dangerous.
Good shot.
Yeah, most of these guys are probably throwing a very controlled shot up to the top. It's a much more difficult lefty shot. Really not going for a lot of distance. Ooh. It was better than the alternative kick right, so not the best outcome, but for the lefty, that's probably a smart play with the sidearm to stay away from that hill on the right.
Shot.
It'll get him a look up there. So they're probably still a couple hundred feet away, maybe 175 to 200 feet away. And that is not going to be good.
Yeah, he might have 50, 60 feet left to the basket. And a handful of trees in his way.
Yeah, Zach must have taken a bigger skip than it looked from the tee, so he's got a little work to do, but looks like he's put a nice move on that. Maybe give him a putt.
Yeah, he's on the green.
Marty's in the good spot. A little jump putt or, yeah, a little approach.
That's where you want to be.
He got himself a little bit more than he wants. He's probably still 25 or 30 feet in.
Max for par.
Oh,
just over it.
wow.
He's going to have a little tester.
Really aggressive run, but yeah, maybe a little more than he wants coming back. It's like an awkward straddle, about 20, 25 feet. Good save.
Yep, no problem.
These guys are trying to make everything. They're that good. Max is 1,006 rating. He's done this a long time. Zach, great save. Get back on track after those last couple holes.
Mm-hmm.
You feel good about a 3 on this hole.
Yeah, you're just looking to get your 3 and move on.
Marty just went 3-2-3 on those last 3 holes. That's huge. Marty is from St. Thomas, as he said earlier, and he's definitely one of the top players in Ontario.
Well, this is looking smooth. 360 feet down the pipes.
That's a great shot. It's so much harder than it looks on the film. Your camera angle's perfect, but it's so hard to penetrate back through there and actually give yourself a look. I mean, that's probably a good 35, 40 feet away still, but it just seems like the good shots seem to get knocked down at the very end. Max trying a roller, which is something you'll see every once in a while. Wow. What a nice stop there. Gives him a circle's edge putt probably, maybe a little closer. Great shot.
Yep. Zach for a long bird. Nice.
Wow. What a stud. Did he putt with his shades up?
I don't know.
I mean, we might need to rewind that. That's just amazing. Marty, this is 3 great drives on this hole. You just don't see him this close. Just expect Marty to put this in, and he does. Such an unconventional nose-up putt, tons of spin, but he's just so effective with it. I mean, you don't see very many people putt like him. It works. And Max, golly, that's just a heck of a star frame. I don't know that I've ever seen 3 2s on that hole in that pin placement.
You're right. That's one of the tougher star frames you're going to see.
Sure, that basket was looking really small for Max. Going, geez, thought I was going to pick a stroke up on somebody, and they both bang one. So
Marty keeps his 1-stroke lead. Heading into hole 12, 306 feet. It's uphill at first. It's a narrow gap you got to get through. And you still have that huge cliff on the right.
Marty's perfect. Just a super. I mean, you imagine he throws a straight, controlled shot right up the middle. It's what he does, and it plays. It says 306, but it definitely plays about 30 or 40 feet further just because of that uphill. Can't tell it as much on film, but a good lefty shot. That's another one probably right up there near circle's edge, if not in. Nice little camaraderie there.
Stay up there.
That looks good too. If it didn't roll, it might have rolled down the edge a little bit. There's a hill on the right that's the same hill that goes along 10. Wow, Marty went too far. Still probably in the circle. Another low putt.
Yeah, he wants that one back.
Yeah, Max is still, that's pretty close. It's 20.
Yeah, that could have been much worse.
Beauty.
Nice bird.
Yep. Nice bounce back. 2 in a row. Those two, to get those in a row are definitely bonus. And that's a
Park job.
yeah. Great shot.
Already taps in for his par.
Probably feeling disappointed about that one because he threw the right shot. Just missed a little low. So back to tied up, 11 and 11 for Zach and Marty, and then Max is sitting at 9. Martin with the hot round right now, holding on 4 under. It's pretty good. Pretty good start. We're getting into some meat now. This hole 13, 437 feet. Really tight little tee shot. Most guys are just throwing a soft putter or something to lay up on this first shot to get in position. A 3 is definitely a good score on this. I don't think there's going to be any 2s on this weekend unless you throw in something from 250 or 300 feet, which is not something you're trying to do necessarily. So you'll see 3 little soft shots. Those first 2 are perfect. And Marty is he's a little tight on the right, but I think he's still going to have a good shot in. So yeah, you see him here. And that same hill on the right plays all the way down through hole 10, hole 12, hole 13, hole 14. So these guys are really trying to keep a low shot away from that right side and give himself a putt. So
They'll have a look from the edge of the circle.
definitely a harder sidearm or a lefty shot from here. They have to work some sort of sidearm in. And it looks like he gave himself a great line, and it's right there.
Yeah, the only plays off to the right. There's really nothing on the left side.
And Max is trying super hard shot because there's so much trouble if he hits something and kicks to the right. I don't know. I've never seen Max throw a sidearm. My guess is that he does not really throw a sidearm because that would have been a prime shot for one if he had it and felt comfortable with it. Marty.
Yeah, his turnovers are so good.
Marty needs to drink a Red Bull or eat a power bar. He's looking like he's... There you go. He knew it right when he let it go. That's a huge 3. I'd say that's a birdie. These guys are having fun.
Yeah, I need to.
Another huge bird for Zach. That's a good one. I don't know if they call it a par 4, but I'm calling it a par 4.
So with that, Zach is at 11 under, Marty 10 under, Max 9 under. Heading into 14. It's another dog leg hole. You can't get there in 2. Well, I mean, you can't get there off the tee pad.
This is probably one of my favorite holes at Hoover right now. It's just such a pretty hole. There were a couple of big pine trees in the middle of the fairway that have come down, and we've been able to let the fairway kind of develop on its own. You have to throw a really controlled straight shot. The basket's out the backside there, but it takes one super drive or 2 controlled shots to get up there and give yourself a 3. Again, this isn't one you're necessarily trying to 2. I mean, I guess somebody could potentially 2 it if they had the distance to get all the way out there and make a long putt, but the majority of people are fine getting a 3 on this. But if you get caught up early, you can, that is
Oh no.
That's big trouble. So he's scrambling now to try to just get the 4 and get out, because he's probably 400 plus feet away with no good shot in. And if you see Marty throwing a sidearm, you know he's in trouble, because it's not his favorite shot.
Wow.
Great shot.
That was one of the best shots of the entire weekend.
Marty's really trying to scramble here. He's probably still at this point 275. Wow.
Wow.
And he's crazy. He's absolutely crazy.
But,
Great shot.
but successful.
Yeah.
He did it.
That was really risky, but it worked, I guess. So
Max's approach. Oh,
Wow.
just catches that low-hanging branch.
and that is, yeah, it's going to give him probably circle's edge, but he was going to be right next to the basket. And that's a hard one to let go, because he did everything right. Just, right at the end, didn't execute that shot and missed it a little bit to the left and missed the putt. So,
Nice.
and this is 14 holes in. This is where you start to get a little winded and you're a little tired. And it's the heat that day, if I remember, was
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
you probably know you were lugging that
Yeah,
camera.
it was a little humid too.
That was a great save by Martin. Wow.
Hey, there's you in the background.
Oh, wow. Camera puts on 10 pounds.
You see Tournament Central in the background. All right, so after hole 14, we go off to the letter holes. 9 holes added onto this course.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know how many years the letter holes are in, but you would just play, if you want to play the original 18, you went from 14 over to 15, but coming out of the woods is where the temporary 9 started, and then we got them permanent. So this road all along the left side is, of course, out of bounds, and Zach knows that and probably, overcorrected a little bit, but it's really risky if you throw out early, but it's a great lefty hole.
Max's play is consistently hyzering out over this OB road, getting a nice skip up to the basket. It's a scary shot. You really have to trust yourself and the disc to do that every single time.
I'm going to bet Marty throws one really straight right down the middle. And he turned it a little, so that road just makes you do funny things, because, you're definitely trying to get a 2 on this hole. You can see the green is sloped and there's some hard packed ground. Wow, great run.
Yeah.
And then behind it there's a little bit of rocks and some stuff down there. So there's trouble down there, but going out of bounds and taking a 4 is just a huge disappointment on this hole, because there's a lot of 2s to be had. Max is sitting pretty. Well done.
So I remember there was a pretty steep ditch going back there. It looks like they filled it in with some rocks.
Yeah, there was a huge, I don't know what that was, but yeah, that's been, I think last year or the year before, they probably put some drainage in and added some rocks to make it a little safer. Yeah, you're right. It was a deep ditch. It was like 6 or 8 feet deep.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you went long years prior, you were in trouble. Now you can kind of skip back. So Zach is now only up by 2 over Max and Marty, both at 9.
Sorry, Max, I missed your drive on that. That's my fault.
Hole B is 385 feet. That road comes into play. And then there's also some cables there that you can see right there. If you go left of those, that's also out of bounds. And that basket's kind of tucked back in the woods. So you see very few 2s on this hole. I think the majority of guys are trying to get their discs into the mouth of this wood line. Exactly like that. Wow, what a fabulous shot. And if you can give yourself a long putt, that's great, but it's a pretty guarded basket, as you can see here. So getting yourself up there, pitching up and getting your 3 and getting out is there's nothing wrong with. And that's, again, you did everything right off the tee and you're just not executing. So it's really frustrating. I'm sure Max is kicking himself for that. That's perfect.
Yep, picture perfect. So he's pretty obstructed. He has a tiny gap. Made a good run.
Nothing wrong with it. He's not too angry about that, I can promise you. Max needs to put this in to
Yeah,
keep the
look how
momentum.
far he's straddling out to get a good line.
Good job.
Hits the pole.
Thank you. Hold it.
Definitely don't want to let another one go like you did on 14. It's just you start to mentally beat yourself up because you feel like you're playing good and you do silly things like that to give away strokes. So there's no room for that out here. Marty to save. Good save. That would have been a very disappointing 4 as well. So get out, take your 3. It's a good group of 3s there. Same scores, pars around. Moving on to hole C. And there's a few shorties in here. There's some controversy over whether they like these holes, they don't like these holes over the years. This one's a 197. It's pretty guarded. Max absolutely laced that thing. I mean, that's exactly what you want. It's a good lefty hole. There's definitely a backhand there. There's a lot of different ways to get there, but there's just some trees that guarded, and so some people want a bigger line there, but I think this one's fair.
It's a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. See, that's one of those where you let it go and you're like, I did it. I parked it. And then the last little tree gets you. And
Late tree.
Marty looks like that was early and high. And
Yeah, it's a bad combo.
it's going to be hard if you get off into those woods. Now Marty's pulling out his bag of tricks here and seeing what he can do.
He took a little time to figure out how he was going to do this one. Look at this. Wow.
That's so Marty. He hit that tree like he was aiming at it. He looked at the camera and said, yep, I did it. That was me. Did you get that?
I saw it.
Come on, Zach. Oh, bummer. Again, it's just frustrating because you feel like you did what you were supposed to do and didn't get the result. So this would be a huge save for Martin. Just get that 3 and get out, especially after that kick.
Yeah, Mark. Great ball, Mark.
Great job.
Yeah, nice par save.
Super dry by Max.
Nice bird.
Mm-hmm. My goal to come through here and try to get 2 out of these 3. So this one and the next 2 are all under 250, I think. They're pretty short, well guarded like that one, but you definitely, you want to come through and get 2 out of 3 of them for sure if you can. So only 1 out of the lead card there.
You can just run into so much trouble on these short wooded holes, though.
9, 10, 11, tightening up. Nice camera work there.
I mean, you could barely see a sliver of the basket, but yeah, that's where they're going. It's a dog leg left, and you got to go right down this tunnel of trees.
Yeah, it's a slow turn. These guys are obviously throwing turnovers, and you got to just hit the line perfect. There's a perfect line right to the basket, but it's really touchy. You'll see a lot of right-handers actually throw sidearms. That's the line I would love to take every time, and it looks like he hit it. It's whether or not it skipped up to the basket. It's a hard packed ground with some pine needles, so you get a lot of action on the ground. Marty, of course, is not going to throw a sidearm, and that backhand's tough, and he just did exactly what you can't do, which is let it out early. So he's back to scramble mode.
He's got a hallway,
Ooh.
and he makes it down the hallway.
There we go.
See, that's how Marty is. Every time you think you're going to get a stroke on Martin, he pulls out this magical shot, and you just go, well, guess I better make my birdie. Ooh. Good try.
Zach for bird.
Yeah, he slid up there good. That's a... Ooh,
Whoa, nice.
good too. Max getting up and down. Nice. His putts are hitting right in the middle. There.
Yeah, he likes the red part of the pole.
Yeah, he's definitely always right high and in the middle, and he's making them. They're just dead center, just committing to your shot. And what an amazing save by Martin. That's 2 holes in a row where he looks like he's in in Bogeyville, and he comes out with
He
the
comes
3.
through. So Zach with the only bird, he's going to extend his lead to 2 strokes at 12 under. Max coming in at 10 under and Marty at 9 under. And thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for the last 9 holes of round 2, and come back and join us.